Hey everybody, happy Friday to all the single hikers out there and other folks who are joining us today. It's a beautiful day. Hope you can get outside. I checked the weather. Saturday and today look like really great days to go out and look for our single hike tags. Next week might be a little bit on the soggy side, so I encourage you to get out there this weekend. Before I get to the main content today of our video, I wanted to give we've had a few people who've had some trouble finding some of the more difficult tags in the single hike challenge. And so I'm just going to give you a few little hints about how to find those on the harder to find ones. So if you've gone to Patriots Park in Greenville, it is a very large park. And the trails are actually located across the lake. So you have to go across the lake. There's a little trail on the dam you can take. And there is a Frisbee golf course there. And the tag is located near the 18th hole of the Frisbee golf course. And it's up on top of a hill overlooking the lake. So that's your hint for Patriots Park. If you're at White Rock Nature Preserve, you have to go all the way to the top. And it's, you got to work for this one. But once you get up there, you get a spectacular view as your reward. The tag is on the North Ridge Trail. At Swansea, Clinton Hills, there's lots of different trails there as well. The tag is near hole number 17 on the disc golf course. So if you take the trail that starts right behind Fletcher's, you should be able to find it. And then Willoughby Farm in Collinsville is also quite a large park with lots of different amazing trails. So the trails start after you get past all the cute little farm animals. And please take the yellow trail and stay on it to find that tag. So that's your hints for today on how to find the harder to find single hike tags. As a part of our ongoing membership drive at HeartLands Conservancy, we're going to highlight one of our community members. There's lots of communities in southwestern Illinois that are members of HeartLands Conservancy, and one of them today is O'Fallon. So we've worked with them over the years to accomplish a bunch of different things, including a pedestrian and bicycle plan for Scott Air Force Base. And most recently, we inventoried over 1,200 trees as part of our urban forestry initiative. So joining us today is going to be Michael Siebert and Sarah Burton from the city of O'Fallon. So I'm going to patch them in. It pops up here. There's a little delay sometimes. Let's see. I can hear you. I can't. Oh, here we go. I think it's coming. Oop, I lost you. Rats, technology.
I don't know how to start it either.
Well, we can hear you, so we can just talk and we won't have your picture and hopefully it'll pop up for us. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Great.
Probably better for me.
Okay, well, thank you guys for joining us. Today, we're announcing our bonus park for the single hike challenge. So every Friday we're adding a new park in the challenge. And this next one is in O'Fallon. It is Rock Springs Park. And so you guys are doing some amazing work out at Rock Springs Park. So I thought I would ask you to tell us a little bit about the conservation efforts you're doing there.
Okay, so most of our efforts have happened in the last couple of years, but really it's been an ongoing project for close to 4 years. The bulk of it involves exotic plant removal. We've got really bad honeysuckle problems out there, along with euonymus and autumn olive, and we've got some other things trying to invade our prairies. So we've really been working on getting that stuff out, as well as bringing in native plants as well. That's a lot more recent than the removal. It's been probably 4 or 5 years since we've started on it, but we've really hit it hard the last 2 winters.
So what's been the biggest challenge with trying to conserve that and get rid of invasive species?
Our biggest challenge is probably time, because we only really work on the removal in the winter when we're slower, but we still have several other parks to take care of. And, we don't have that many people, so we have to pick our time, and we can only get out there certain times with a certain amount of people. Luckily, we've got a lot of guys that like to work hard on it. We've got a lot of equipment that helps us with that also, but the time is the biggest thing. And then, as a lot of people know, honeysuckle itself is such a problem that everything we removed this past winter is growing back already, although it's easier to take care of and get rid of now. I would say time is probably our biggest issue, always will be, because if that was the only park that we had, it'd be a different story, but we've got to, we got to divide between all the parks.
So for this particular park, how has the public responded to, converting it to a natural looking habitat?
For the most part, they've responded well. If people understand what we're doing, they really respond well. We'll get the occasional walker that wants to know why we're cutting all of the trees down in the park, why we're clearing so much area. Once we explain it to them, they're usually okay with it. But most people are really happy that we're doing it. If they know what honeysuckle is, they're happy that we're getting rid of it. So it's gone over pretty well for the most part.
And in terms of, the establishment of the prairies and the different things you're doing there, has that been more work on the part of the city or less work, or how has that been?
So the prairie, so we kind of have a two-part program out there. We've got the prairie that we're trying to take care of, and then we've got the forest areas. Forest areas have the honeysuckle the worst. The prairies, it was a lot of autumn olive and black and honey locust. There was some honeysuckle in there, and we did burn it last April. We burned it. We're going to do it probably again next year. I think I lost track of the question. What was it?
In terms of like how much care you have to do, is it easier for the city?
So there's a lot of care while we're doing it, and then we hit the spring and we get busy, and it really doesn't get touched much other than what our horticulture crews are doing with with some of the native plant beds that we've got out there. They also planted how many trees? 500 bare root native trees a few weeks ago. So there's a lot of care with that. But as far as the honeysuckle in the woods and all the other junk in the prairies, it really doesn't get touched again until probably December. So it's kind of we just stand back and let it go for 8 months until we can get back out there.
So in terms of Rock Springs Park, what's your favorite things about that park? We're going to have people visiting out there, hopefully finding the tag. So what can you tell us about it?
My favorite thing is that it's a park in the city, but when you're there, it doesn't feel like you're in the city. There's tall trees all the way around it. And once you pull through the gates and you pull into the park, you kind of forget that you're basically in the middle of town. It's definitely my favorite park. It's most everybody that work here's favorite park, and it's probably most of the people in O'Fallon's favorite park. And I think that's the main reason. If you want to walk on a paved trail, you can do that. If you want to walk through the woods on a trail, you can do that. There's a playground. There's 2 dog parks. So there's kind of something for everybody. But the biggest thing is that it doesn't feel like a city park in the middle of the city. It feels like a nature park out in the middle of nowhere, but it's 2 minutes from your house.
That's something that's really special to have in a community.
Yeah.
How big is the park?
It is 103 acres. 16 of those acres is warm season prairie that we're currently restoring. There's also a 10-acre field in the back. I'm pretty sure it was an old sod farm. It's mostly fescue. There's some other stuff growing, but it's still a nice open area where you can see a lot of different birds, and there's kind of a mowed trail around it. It's a nice walk around it. We've got 2 miles of paved trail out there, and there's several thousand feet of trails through the woods. It's kind of hard to map because you can't see them on any maps. I've never walked them to actually measure them, so I'm not sure how long they are, but there's a lot of trail in the woods as well. So 100 acres roughly the park is, and a lot of it's forest.
That's a big park.
Yep.
You're getting some love on Facebook. Someone said they love the native grasses. So you get some appreciation from our Facebook audience today.
Thank you.
You guys are doing fantastic work in all your parks. So I just want to say, you know, thanks to both of you for the work you're doing to, you know, include conservation as a part of your efforts. It's really, really important, and you guys certainly are one of the leaders in this region for doing that kind of thing. So, you know, we're proud to have you guys as members of HeartLands Conservancy as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you. We appreciate that. We really try to keep it as natural as possible. It's hard to do with baseball fields and soccer fields, but thankfully that park doesn't have them, so we can do a lot more of that kind of stuff.
Well, I'm sorry that we couldn't see your faces today, but thank you for your voices, and thanks for letting us put a sign up in Rock Springs Park for people to go visit and hopefully win some prizes. So you guys have a fantastic Memorial Day weekend.
Sure thing. You too. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so we have a little bit of a bonus today. Besides one of our members, we're going to have another member that you get to meet here. And since we're on the subject of talking about conservation with the City of O'Fallon and the great things they're doing, we are going to do something special, which is award our very first Conservation at Home certification. We launched this program last fall and are beginning to certify home gardens this year. Carefully, socially distantly, of course, during this time. This program, so you know, assists homeowners with establishing and certifying their landscaping as being supportive of wildlife, clean water, and a healthy environment. So we like to reward people who are doing really great things. So today we're going to award a couple of our very dedicated members with their Conservation at Home designation. So I'm going to pull in Sarah Vogt, our conservation manager, who is out with Kerry and Susan Brethauer. So let me pull that up right now. Okay, good. Your picture's working. So, let's see here. Let me zoom out a little bit so we can see you all. So I'm going to throw it over to Sarah, and she's going to talk about Conservation at Home with Kerry and Susan.
Great. Hi, everyone. Yep, I'm here with Kerry and Susan at their house, which we have just gave them their Conservation at Home certification. Like Mary said, it's one of our first homes to be certified. Their house, their yard is lovely. There's many things that make it qualified for Conservation at Home certification. They have native plants all over the place, lots of great native trees. They have right in the middle of their front yard is a great rain garden. They have sunny pollinator gardens, lots of bird feeders and houses in the backyard, and even some pawpaw trees, right? 3 pawpaw trees. So they've got a lot of great stuff going on, and I'm happy to present them with their Conservation at Home certification today. Oh, they have rain barrels too. Yeah. And another fun fact is their house is Silver LEED certified, which doesn't have anything to do with our doesn't factor into our certification, but it is another neat fact about their home.
You want to show us your rain garden? You can walk.
Oh, yeah.
Kerry's going to show us his rain garden right now because it's beautiful. He's got a bunch of irises back there. Kerry, do you want to tell us a little bit about your rain garden here?
Sure. Actually, the garden was part of the LEED certification. So how you handle the water, it comes off of where your home, the footprint of your home. So it handles the water. It would have gone into that footprint. And then we planted native and not native plants around here. The idea being that it retains water. It allows it to percolate down into the ground rather than go into the storm sewer. So I mean, here you go. We've got hydrangeas, the irises, different types of grasses, hellebore, all kind of stuff here. Shining star over
Shining,
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
blue star.
Mascara.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
It's fun. It's not that much work. It takes care of itself pretty much.
And it doesn't hold the water for a very long time, right?
No, a day or two.
A day, yeah. So it's not like you have a swampy part in your yard. It just holds the water long enough for it to soak into the ground.
When the water table allows it, it sinks in.
Yep.
Anything else?
Does anybody on Facebook have any questions for them about their rain garden? We will take some pictures while we're out here, and we will post them in the comments section so you guys can kind of see what a conservation at home certified yard looks like. But in addition to being the first conservation at home yard, Susan is also our volunteer office assistant. So she volunteers with us year round when the office is able to be open. But she does a lot of good work for us, and we really appreciate all of her efforts and all of their support.
And Kerry comes to most of our volunteer days out at Signal Hill and our other natural areas and helps with our stewardship there. So,
Honeysuckle expert.
honeysuckle expert. So, you guys are members.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're members. We've been members for a few years now. Do that because we enjoy the outdoors and we want to make sure that land and plants, etc., are watered and conserved, and so that our children and grandchildren will have that in their future.
Yeah, we believe in your mission.
Good.
But it's distinctly. And it gives us something to do with our retirement time.
Well, hey, thanks, Kerry and Susan. We got a comment on Facebook that your yard looks beautiful. Beautiful rain garden. I'm seeing that comment come in. People are very impressed. So thank you for the excellent work that you guys are doing and for being such great volunteers at our organization. We couldn't do the work we do without you guys. So we really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, I'm going to sign off from Kerry and Susan. Thank you, guys. Enjoy your new certification. Tell everybody about it. We'll see you soon. Bye. Okay, well, if you want to learn more about conservation at home, you can visit our website. I put the URL here for you to see. We will do an on-site consultation to discuss your landscape with you and what you could change to update and integrate more native plants or other conservation measures in your landscaping. We're also, a lot of people have asked us if we could do a customized landscape plan for them. We weren't doing that, but now it's a new service we're going to be offering. That's a $500 fee, and that is a customized planting plan for you. And it includes a 1-year membership to HeartLands Conservancy and other resources like how to maintain it over time and intervals of what you should be doing so that you can have a nice wildlife habitat in your yard. So if you're interested in that, please don't hesitate to contact us. You can go out on our website that I have here. And as a nonprofit, those proceeds that we generate from that program go towards us working with more communities for conservation throughout the entire Metro East in the St. Louis area. So we really appreciate everyone who participates. And again, remember, we are doing a membership drive. If you become a member or if you participate in conservation at home and become a member that way, you get discounts to our events and classes when they are able to resume later this year, hopefully. You can borrow from our tool library for conservation work that you're doing at your house or in public areas. And then we also have members only events that we typically host throughout the year, and we'll resume those once it is safe to do so. Right now we have a promotion going on. You get a Be Kind to the Prairie t-shirt if you become a member or upgrade your existing membership this month. And we also enter you into a raffle to win a Tesla for an entire weekend. So I've known some people who have won that in the past and have had lots of fun riding around in a Tesla. So get your membership today and hopefully you will win. And beyond those benefits, it's really great. We love to get to know our members, so you become part of a bigger community of conservation here in the St. Louis Metro East. Okay, so everyone, remember, Rock Springs Park is the latest addition to the Single Hike Challenge. It's our bonus location for today. That's in O'Fallon, Illinois. And it's an easy hike, very beautiful, ecologically rich, highly recommend it. You can Google where it's located. It will be up on our website here shortly, so you'll be able to find it. The tag's going up around 2 p.m., so don't go before 2 or you won't find it. And I hope everyone has a beautiful Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see you next Friday. Bye.